Hello my friends, it's the 5th of May 2016, Mr. Max Bliss in the used to be glorious southwest France. Well, today we started out with a lovely, beautiful blue sky, and there were the occasional contrails. Well, now it's changed. It's actually moved forward to the military-industrial complex's program of deliberately dispersing aerosols for the purposes of inadvertent weather modification. That was described in a book I was reading called Weather and Climate Modification, Problems and Prospects, Volume 2. It's long been understood about vapor trails affecting weather and climate modification. When I look to the sky here and I see the all too familiar frequency lines in these vapor trails, the debunkers will say, "Whoa, that's cumulus," and a whole raft of various different debunking excuses for the obvious, deliberate weather and climate modification techniques. This is no longer covert. This is blatant. There is absolutely no question whatsoever that these persistent spreading contrails are having a serious impact on our weather and climate. Yet these are never factored in to any climate models. In fact, the whole concept of weather modification is deliberately played down by the IPCC and the compliant hymn sheet climate change scientists. In my opinion, these climate scientists do not use observation as part of their scientific method. They fail to actually pull themselves away from their computer screens and look at the sky. Just look at the sky. We know that the nitrous oxides from the aviation is damaging the ozone. We can all feel the intense burning from the sun, even at the beginning of May, because of the damage to the ozone, which is deliberate, understood, well understood. It was talked about by people like John von Neumann and Harry Wexler, who are key figures in the weather modification development from the 1940s, 50s, 60s and 70s. They understood that deliberately destroying the ozone would be a part of the weather and climate modification techniques to be employed by the military-industrial complex. Yes, it is very long-term developments into the research and development of weather and climate modification techniques. And what we are seeing, my friends, is the continuing development of these programs for the express purpose of conning the masses into believing we have a climate change threat due to CO2, that vital life-giving trace gas, which is only 0.375% of our atmosphere. That's a minuscule amount. And from this bogus threat, we are going to get global governance. We're going to get far-reaching legislation that will strip away the sovereignty of nations, that will create the fundamental foundations of a one world government, so that the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Royals and all the other obscenely rich oligarchy of this world can create their ultimate one world government system, which will be a socialist, totalitarian slave system. all based on the climate change lies, the global threat that will require global solutions, that will require global governance. And yet we have to witness these programs being used to alter the weather and climate constantly, which are completely ignored by any of the climate models, which all of the political decisions are based on. Climate models are fraudulent. Climate models have never actually correlated with observable data. They've never been accurate. Yet political decisions, whole agendas such as sustainable development have been written and are continuously being redrafted based upon the inaccurate findings of climate change models based on what may happen in the future. And since none of them been accurate to date, you have to wonder why these are even relevant. Because they have never been accurate. They have never correlated with observable data. But what we do see is a huge political momentum. And it's coming in with the guise of the New World Order, Sustainable Development, Agenda 2030, the UN post-2015 agenda. This is all about green communism, setting up a totalitarian system for the whole world to be kept in slavery under this green umbrella. We need to wake up fast because this is in our faces, my friends. And this has to be stopped, and it can be stopped. We must challenge the establishment and expose their horrific lies. It is time to wake up and realize there is a huge conspiracy against us, we the people. They intend to remove our privileges as free-range slaves. They intend to exert total control that will make Orwell's vision of 1984 a petty little fable, of Huxley's Brave New World, which is probably closer to the model they will use. They will use chemicals, they will use nanotechnology and all the other emerging sciences to actually merge with biodiversity so that they can implement this age of the Anthropocene, where man, and we're talking about the 0.1%, can exert total control over the planet. Can you understand now? The insane agenda is for total control. So this obscenely rich oligarchy can have their one world empire. Friends, we have to come together, we have to do our research, we have to learn, we have to inform ourselves, we have to inform everybody else, we have to overcome all the divide and rule tactics they use so efficiently through the ages. They've indoctrinated generations. And it doesn't really matter what religion you are or what ideology you follow, we're all being played. It doesn't matter if you're Jew, Gentile, Muslim, it doesn't matter. We are all being played. All of us. So we need to overcome those differences that we have been indoctrinated with and realise it's we the people versus the oligarchy. And this oligarchy, they're sociopaths, they're psychopaths. They create wars for their agendas to move forward. They really don't care about anyone at all, except their agenda for global domination. So we need to overcome our differences, my friends. We need to recognise what's going on. We need to inform ourselves, and we need to unite against this 0.1%. When we wake up sufficiently and learn what's going on with verifiable information, It's time to take them down and look for solutions to change the situation, to create a system of self-governance that can create a system that will be impervious to the corruption, to the greed, to the exploitation of this 0.1%. It's time to wake up, my friends. It's time to end the New World Order. Take care and bye for now.